Hey, Dustin here, Smoking Eagles Rod Shop, back with another video for you, and today we're going to be working on my van again. That's right, we're tearing into the E150 because I've only got a couple days left to get it ready for a car show, and I've got something in this van that's really been bothering me for a while now, and I want to get it remedied. Today is the day. Sorry about the background noise. I got a noisy window air conditioner over here, and I got a fan going over in there. It's like 12,000 degrees out. It is so hot. I gotta have all this stuff going so I just don't turn into a puddle of mud. Yeah, so anyway, let me show you what we're gonna do here. Now I just finished up fixing my turn signal stuff here, so I got my steering wheel off. You don't have to pull your steering wheel off to do this, but it does make things a little bit easier messing around with all this dash and stuff. Look at this dash pad. It's got a crack right there. Look at this. It's like the crater of the moon. Crater of the moon. Surface of the moon. It is just nasty. It's dirty. I've washed it a couple of times. A rag won't even go across. It's like it's just all baked in there. My grandpa smoked for a long time in this thing, and I mean, I'm not blaming him for all of this, but yeah, nicotine destroys, man. Anyway, this dash pad sucks. Guess what doesn't suck in my parts van? The dash pad. So, Matt and I went ahead, tore that out of there so I could show you guys how to do it. Check this dash pad out. I just cleaned it off, and this thing is nice. Now, it's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. It is not perfect. It's got a crack right here. You almost can't even see it because it's in the shade. It doesn't jump out at you, I promise. It's got a little bit of a wrinkle right here. It's kind of dorked up, and it's got a couple little cracks right in here. But I wiped this thing down with some window cleaner, cleaned it up real good, armor all it, and man, it is easily 1,000 times better than the dash pad in the van. So we're gonna get that one out, and we're gonna get this one in. And I'm going to show you guys how big of a pain in the ass it is, because it is a pain in the ass. But it's less of a pain in the ass in here with the fans and the AC going than it was getting that one outside sweating. Like, man, it was bad. It's hot, okay? It's hot. So how does this hook in here, Dustin? Let me tell you. It's got like 950 bolts. Ford thought this thing was gonna just jump right out of the van and run off. You've got bolt, 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 bolt. Don't forget bolt, bolt, all holding this dash pad in. It's all located inside there, behind all this stuff, up inside here. It is a nightmare to get to, but it's not undoable. What we've got to do is we've got to pull this out, this panel here. We've got to pull the speedometer cluster and all this stuff out. We've got to pull this whole center section of trim out. We've got to pull the hood off, which is easy enough for us. It's just a couple of clips. And then we've got this piece of metal trim here that has screws all the way across it. We've got to get it out. Then we can get this dash pad off of here. And while we've got that off, I'm gonna sweep all down in there, clean that all up as good as I can. And then we'll put our new dash pad in, bolt all this stuff back together. And maybe I'll see if I can get these dash lights working that have never worked. I'm assuming that the bulbs are either burnt out or they're just got bad contacts. No biggie, that's a little side quest for our video today. So let's dig right in. The first thing I've got to do is remove like 27 Phillips screws. I've got a couple here, they're all along here, they're all along here. Don't forget about the two that are up inside here, and there's a couple up inside here. Boom, boom, boom. And then we can start pulling all this stuff off of here. So I'm gonna grab a Phillips screwdriver, I'm gonna zip all those out of there, and I'll meet you guys back as soon as I get those all out, and then you can watch me pry on stuff and hopefully not break nothing. Yeah, hopefully not break nothing. All right, guys, so I got all the screws out of all that stuff, everything I said to take out. Then I got a little plastic pry bar here. You got to get up underneath here, and you got to kind of pink and pop this out. It's got two little clips up here. Let me show you. Got two little metal clips on each side here. They clip into these little holes up here. You don't want to break them. Now this one did pop off. It's got some little ears, what you can do. Same thing I did. As long as you don't break the plastic, you got to be very, very careful when you pop these off of here because everything is ancient, right? I just squeeze them together a little bit with some pliers or your fingers if you got strong hands, and then just slide it back on there. It should be fine. When we put it back together, it's gonna be great. Now, we gotta unhook the speedometer cable. There's wires in the back of here that plug into all these gauges, but the only thing that's gonna stop you from pulling that out that makes it real stiff is the speedometer cable. Now, to get that speedometer cable out, you gotta stick your arm all the way back in like this, look. Elbow deep, boys. All the way in there, you're gonna find it. There's a tab on the side. You gotta push it in as hard as you possibly can with your thumb and yank. It'll pop right out. Let me pull this out of here and I'll show you exactly what that clip looks like, and then you'll have a little better understanding. You can stick your phone in here, put it on video, turn your flash on so that it's on the whole time. Stick it in there, then you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking at back in there. Stick your arm in there, you'll know what you're reaching for. So let me get this out of here and then I will show you that clip. Now I just shifted all the way into low to get this shift arm out of my way. I've lifted this out of here. Oh look, mouse turds, that figures. Now there is a wiring harness in here that I'm gonna unplug. You squeeze on the top and the bottom and it just pops right out. And now you have your entire gauge cluster completely out of your van. We'll take this over and work on those lights here in just a minute. But I want to show you guys these two clips. So you've got this one here. This is the one I'm talking about that's on your speedometer. You got to squeeze it right here. You just push this in as hard as you can and then it'll slide right out of there. And while we've got this here, we're going to squirt a little bit of lube down on this speedometer cable and lube that up because guaranteed ain't been lubed since Ford did it in 1976. And then this is your plug here for all your gauges and everything. It's just got two little tabs on the side. You just squeeze and pull, pops right off. Now, the back of this gauge cluster, if you're familiar with GM like I am, all the 70s cars, trucks, they all had this wiring circuit board thing, whatever you want to call it. You can buy new ones online. Basically, they just lose contact. And then your lights and stuff quit working. No big deal. We just got to clean all this stuff up, clean up all these little contacts, and then we'll plug it back in, turn the dash lights on, and make sure everything's working good. Yeah, see how it's just everything gets crusty and old and kind of gross. These are like your grounds for your gauges, things like that. But really, I mean, as long as you've got your fuel gauge, which ours works, and you got your speedometer, which ours works, and then you've got your turn signals, you're good. This one works. Those lights up there work, so those are good. My high beam light does not work, and the actual dash lights themselves don't work. Let me show you the dash out of the other van, though. So here's the dash that I took out of the other van, and check this out. It actually has a mechanical alternator gauge, and then it has a mechanical, or it has like a manual oil pressure gauge, which I thought is super cool. My van just has idiot lights. And this van only has 90,988 miles on it. The other van has like 93,000. So we may take this and put it in the other van. It looks a lot nicer. Everything looks better. That van was just in so much better shape than the van I got from my grandpa. So yeah, maybe we swap this over so it's got the actual analog gauges. That would be so much cooler. I don't know. Let me kick it around in my melon. I gotta get this dash pad. I get sidetracked. It's butterflies and stuff. Just like off down the rabbit trail I go. So it may actually start to work. I mean, I would be rolling my speedometer back a couple thousand miles. I mean, could get in trouble for that. I don't know, guys. What do we do? One more thing before we go back to the dash. Check out this sweet seat. If you hadn't seen the seat that I ripped out of the white van over there, this thing cleaned up freaking awesome. I've got it armor all around the outside edges. I re-spray bombed the frame on the bottom of it. I hooked a couple of pieces of wood to the bottom just to make it a little more stable so you can just sit on it like right here on the ground. And I used a carpet cleaner and I carpet cleaned this thing. Look, it looks like freaking new. Yeah, if you look real close, there's a couple stains here and there, but I mean, come on, guys. This thing is sweet. And you can just chill in it. So the idea is I can just toss this in the back of the van. We can go to a car show. We can go to an event. We can slide this baby out of the van and we can just chill at the merch table. Or I can set up my little canopy while we're camping at the van and I can be cooking cheeseburgers right in front of me, canopy over top of me, chilling in my sweet little couch. I think this is awesome. Super stoked. A lot of things are coming together and it's exciting, so I wanted to share that now. Let's actually get back to the dash. Hey, nice square body. So we're back over here and I'm gonna take all the screws out of this metal strip across here because the one in the white van was in a lot better shape than this one. This one's not terrible, but if you've got a nicer one and you've already got it off, just swap it over. It's like 5 screws. I don't think you have to take this off to get the dash pad out, but it will make life a little easier because you gotta kind of get, these things don't want to come out, okay? Now, the bolts that hold this thing in, they're right up underneath here. I got this light in here. Hopefully you guys can see. There's one. Woo! Wobble the camera around some more. I'm not trying to confuse you guys, but anyway, here's one. There's one up here. There's one like up in here. They're doubled up all the way across there, and it's like 2, 2, 2, 2, and then there's a couple down here in the very front. You gotta stick your arm in here, elbow deep, and get them out. Well, one of them anyway, and then the other one you gotta get from the bottom of the dash there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those out. Let me tell you what size they are real quick. So they are 3/8, and I've got this little baby ratchet I'm gonna use to boop, 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 pull all them babies out. And then, yeah, I'll meet you guys back here as we try and finagle this thing out of here. So I got all the bolts and got the dash out, just lifts out. You got to pull that side off first from the bottom. You pop it out and then it just lifts right off of there. Now I got to get that metal strip off of there still, so you can take it out without pulling that metal strip, just so you know. And then we'll clean this all up and make it look super nice. Well, as nice as we can make it look before we bolt the new dash in. Let's go check out our new dash. So I'm excited about this. So this is where we were. Little B4. And where we're going. So much nicer. Look at those two dashes side by side. It's hard to see because it's just no contest, guys. This is really gonna wake the van up, make it look a lot nicer. Yeah, I can't wait to get it in there. I'm gonna get back to cleaning. I just, goals. You gotta keep them into perspective. So I'll get back to it. jam out to some music while we get that all cleaned up, and then, yeah, we'll toss this dash in there. All right, so we got the dash pad swapped out in the van, and this thing looks good. I slapped it in there, armor-alled it, got the dash all back together, got the steering wheel back in it. The gauge cluster gave me a little bit of grief, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. Up there, I cleaned all that off with some purple power and a rag, and then I dried it off really good, swept it all out, and then I went over it with some spray wax. It turned out really good. It used to just be full of bugs, and it was just caked on dirt. It was so gross. There was just no way I was gonna fix that. Clean that up with that other dash in there. Now it looks super, super good. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. I even got my left turn arrow to work. My right turn arrow worked before, but I got those, and I got this side of the dash lights working. This side I didn't, and I'll tell you why. Holy cow. I had that gauge cluster out and went to fix a couple of the lights, and the one right here just completely disintegrated. It just fell into the housing. This plastic is just disintegrated on that gauge cluster, so much so that it's like this, all this is just missing up here, and I had to actually take it off super careful and dump a bunch of junk in the trash can, put it back together, and attempt to make it work as best as I could with what I had. I thought, hey, I'll just toss this cluster in there like we had kind of talked about, but it takes a totally different plug because it has those other gauges. I thought, well, I'll just go out to the other van and cut the harness out of it and swap the wires over. And yeah, I cut it out, went to do that, and none of the colors even match. So couldn't do that. I had to make that one work for now. Maybe I can make the other one work someday. Oh, here's the plug for it. As you can see, plugs in there. But yeah, none of the colors are the same. So maybe that'll be a project for another day, getting that gauge cluster in there, because it's in a lot better shape. I'll have to de-pin it, do a bunch of figuring out and wiring harness type stuff, but that was not a today project. I just had to get this thing back together, and it looks really nice. The steering wheel even cleaned up pretty good for what it was. I mean, this thing is just, it's a crappy, beat up, broken steering wheel, but it's better than the one in the other van, so it's all I got. Had to clean it up. I've got the little Ford emblem. I'm gonna go dig it out and super glue it on there. But yeah, this thing is ready. I think that dash turned out really good. So that's how to swap out the dash in an early 3rd gen Ford van. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed cleaning the dash up in the old van and getting her looking good. I'm going to post some other videos around my melon here of things we're doing in the shop. Don't forget, we've got merch available on our website if you want to get into that stuff. We've also got a membership program. I think it's $3 a month. It's not much. And yeah, every little bit helps us out around here so we can keep doing these cool projects and things for you guys. We've also got a Facebook group. Are you in it? I don't know, but if you're not, you should be. It's awesome. Everybody's sharing their projects. I'm talking about my projects. We're posting stuff in there all the time. It's super fun. It's growing fast. It'd be bigger if you were there. So yeah, get on over there and make it bigger and better than it already is. And until next time, guys, keep on wrenching. Peace.